he deserves a first pick, but in
No.
this matchup it does, because Xiaowei plays Bounty, plays a lot of Ricky, so it's definitely a block pick, if you will.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, Dogfight's a very experienced roaming player, so he's going to be good with the Ricky as well.
Indeed. Yeah, really telling you out. You said that you're not just with that pick, but of course with the ban as well. LGD are going to grab themselves the Timbersaw, understandably so, because for game one, Super's Timbersaw, as you said, it was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was pretty much a free Timbersaw game, though.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is there's not many ways to kind of slow him or stop him. There's no Keeper of the Light to mana leak him. There's not an insane amount of magic burst. This game, Ricky, I mean, even in lane, you drop a Smoke Cloud, given the right combination of hero, you could kill him. And throughout the mid game, Ricky is going to be able to get a Blink Strike, get a Cloud. If he has a Diffuse Blade or if he has friends nearby, I think Timber is going to have a little bit of a tougher game. Simply because of the Ricky.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's the way they're opening into it. Oh, well, second pick, it's going to be the Spirit. Of course, taking that away from ig.V, we saw Dogfights play that in game one. And, I mean, the combo was certainly there from ig.V. You know, they were working out that Spirit Darkseer, but, yeah, it just didn't seem to be enough at the end of the day.
Yeah, again, that's more towards good plays from Super and Yao. They kept everybody out, allow Monet to siege buildings. Well, we'll see. In July, it's going to be playing Slaughter this game. Remember, the way to deal with Timbersaw is to kind of give him the burst damage, whether physical or magical. We've been seeing teams using Lifestealer and Slaughter in combination quite a bit. I think you casted a game where Vici employed that strategy, and if there's a Desolator on that Lifestealer, if he has an Echo Saber, you blink on top of Timber where he doesn't have that reactive armor kicked in yet, you get a very easy kill and fast with the amplified damage.
Third BAM from ig.V.
Okay, well, Lifestealer is taken out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's as you said, so just so good with the combo. You don't want that to go against you. And one of those heroes as well that can kind of turn around on a Timber. You know, once he gets a few damage items, he can just man fight straight back up against him. If they've got a bit of lockdown, obviously with the Spirit, they have a little bit of control in that sense. And then over on the side of ig.V, they've got the Crush from Slaughter. It's going to be the Sven BAM. I guess one of the heroes that can kind of counter a Slaughter going in with Amplify and make it very hard for Slaughter to just pick off a target.
Yep. Makes Ricky's job somewhat hard to do as well, because everybody's suddenly so tanky. Even the supports would, be able to ignore Ricky for a bit in team fights.
LG Forever Young. I mean, what else are you scared of coming through this game? I mean, there's obviously still like Shadow Demon. You know, Shadow Demon's still there, and he really seems like the hero that across all series he has been right up there at the top of, in terms of bans and picks.
I think Shadow Demon will be quite good for ig.V, less good for L.F.Y. Simply because even if you disrupt somebody defensively, they're still going to be under that cloud, and that's that's a problem that still exists. So I think both teams could just pick up the Shadow Demon simply on the strength of the hero because he's so powerful. But there are also things like Oracle. Oracle could, let's say somebody is going on your Timbersaw with the Slaughter, you give him that false promise, it debuffs everything, he walks out of this cloud, and then he gets to fight again. So maybe we'll see one of the teams kind of turn towards that defensive hero.
And taking their time, going into that bonus, ig.V. It's going to be the Morphling BAM. Immediately, the hard carrying turn comes out. LGD, Forever Young, picking up the Terrorblade. Now, what do ig.V need to do about the Terrorblade? You see it being picked up, it's third pick, you've still got time to deal with it. How do you play around a TB?
You could beat him in several ways. One way is to have a ton of magic burst damage, which right now their team have 0 of. I think that's why L.F.Y, comfortably play Terrorblade as a third pick. The other way to deal with it is punish him when he's sieging your towers. You already have Slaughter for that, which is good. Ricky provides you the vision for backstabs, which is also good. They might go for that route where you pick up multiple blink daggers on your heroes, you jump the TB, burst them down, and then go from there. The only danger with that plan is it's very easy for L.F.Y to pick up a defensive hero like an Omni Knight or a Oracle, and suddenly that game plan becomes much riskier. Looks like they're going to pick up the Oracle themselves, which gives them the burst and also denies it to Terrorblade.
Is there I mean, IG, I guess they would not pick a... Would they pick a Husker? I mean, Terrorblade and Timbersaw can deal with a Husker, can't they? I mean, or is there any temptation, do you think, with IGV's lineup to pick a Husker Oracle?
Huskar deals a lot of damage, but not in quick bursts.
Yeah.
So it feels like Terrorblade could get off a good Sunder, if that's the case.
I guess, yeah, just rip into bits.
Yeah. I mean, they still can. I wouldn't be able to see the logic, at least for now. They also have Timbersaw, like you said, with you know all that peer damage. I think they just pick Oracle because Oracle's a good hero. Not necessarily a combo hero in this game.
Dragon Knight.
I went with the DK. Oh, interesting selection there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is about. I mean, it gives them more jump, more initiation, Blink Dagger in combination with Slaughter and DK. Generally, one of the problem with DK is that he tends to build very utility / survivability. He gets Blink, BKB, AC. So his right-click damage in the late game can suffer if he doesn't farm well. And that's where his Slaughter helps out, right? You know, the amplified damage suddenly makes your DK hit like a machine. But I think he might have a tough time matching him against Timbersaw mid. Whirling Death against Strength Hero's classic counter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it certainly feels like I've got ways to take down the DK. And LGD Forever Young still final pick, which is, as we'd imagine, going to be what Yao's hero. They still need that, unless they play Yao Timber and put super on something different in the mid lane. Ban out the Slark to finish. And I mean, it's just about what kind of other hard carries are left really for IGV.
Juggernaut's still in the pool, right?
Yeah.
Although I don't know if you want to jug against Terrorblade because
hard
to get up to him.
To deal with the TV. I don't know. I mean, we do not see a lot of gyro. I mean, they've got to steamroll this game, IGV, because surely if they get behind, I mean, Terrorblade can kind of just eat gyro up. I get it. They have got the false promise to give gyro that boost, but at the moment, it just feels like LGD, they've just got the more solid draft, haven't they?
You know what the problem is? Gyro just doesn't do enough damage.
No, he got nerfed and nerfed and nerfed.
Yeah, like we saw him not being picked at TI6 over and over again, and players just said, look, he just doesn't hit hard enough, given the items that you get on him. And I think DK sometimes falls into the same category as well. This Slaughter needs to like amp everybody. We're gonna see the Yao Sanking. I hear that he likes to play quite a bit. And honestly, he's got the lane for it. Oracle and Gyro may be annoying, but I think you could lane a Sanking there and do fine.
Yeah, this seems. I mean, DK and Gyro. That really feels like a combo of the past, having those two as your two cores. So IGV, they're going to try and make it work, and they need to. At the moment, LGD, one game up in this series, and a game away from knocking IG out of this tournament. They're going to be quite something if they can pull it off. Paparazzioni's Gyro. I mean, how do you go about it? Do you just need to have this Gyro turning up to fights very early on? You need to somehow slow down Monet's farm? I mean, what is the biggest issue if you're IGV this game, looking at LGD's lineup?
IGV has a very limited timing window where they're actually stronger than LFY.
Yeah.
Which is where you get the BKB on both Gyro and DK and just go. Because if you look at what BKB does in this game, it makes Earth Spirit not a hero, it makes Sand King not a hero, it makes Timbersaw not a hero. So suddenly it's just Terrorblade holding down the base against this kind of very strong mid-game pushing lineup from IGV. So that's the timing that they need to hit, around 25-30 minutes where you have both BKBs and you just go for the win. That's their issue. Like, can they get there in time? Can your lanes kind of sustain themselves? Can you not fall too far behind? That's the question that IGV has to answer.
In terms of the lanes, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything too out of the ordinary, as it will be both teams just running the safe lane tri lanes. And with potentially the slide up on the top, the Dogfights is going to head up it. Let's get a bit of intel for the side. And,
this is something I noticed about LFY. Xiaoyi generally plays a 4 hero, unless they get Earth Spirit. LPC is a very good Earth Spirit player, so Xiaoyi then plays a 5 and let his friend do his thing. He's gonna play the lowly Dazzle.
Oh, and they have to say they've got the Dust as well. They are prepared for the Ricky. And Dogfights, he can make them work for it, but they're still going to get the kill, and first blood as well. Couldn't be any better for LFY. As Monet, he's the one to pick up that money. First blood for the Terrorblade.
Okay. Florida sees it. Okay, Metamorphosis is used. Good job. You tanked one for the team. And my lane gets a little bit better, at least for the short time being. But yeah, first blood still very happily being picked up by Monet. The thing with Terrorblade is his item build doesn't change too much. Sometimes you see a carry hero get a first blood and you're like, okay, I could get a Midas. But Terrorblade is one of those heroes. He's still going to go for the same build. He's going to get that, you know, the early Dragonlance, Treads, and then, you know, Manta, BKB, Scotty, that kind of stuff. The build doesn't change too much.
Let's see what Dogfight's going to get done at the moment on top. They're actually going to make a go in July. It's a good crush off. Looks like it will save himself. Dogfight's trading hits. He's getting quite a bit of a punch. And takes a bit of a beating, both of them in fact, as they force them back. And LPC and Xiao just keeping the offlane of ig.V shut down at the time being. The mid lane matchup, I mean, Timbersaw against the DK. I mean, surely this is going to be a hard lane for Sakata. Or does he still do alright with the Breathe Fire spam?
If he puts a second point into Dragon Blood and make sure his supports get the bottle or get the rune for him, he should be fine. I mean, I think both is going to just trade farm and be okay.
And of course on the bottom lane, I mean, Gyro, you've got the Gyro. When you draft the Gyro, you do kind of want to look for that potential of getting a kill in lane, don't you? I mean, against Yao, it's going to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah. They don't have a good stun here, right? Unless Ricky roams here with a smoke cloud. And hold that thought. Super. Might be in a little bit of trouble.
No, he's only level 1. You can hold them back a little bit. So the Rocket Barrage with Paparazzi will be enough. Yeah, indeed, Super's got to be careful. He's got a couple of tangos. There's still just a level 1 on him, of course. And mid lane, the CS, 10 for 0 on Super, 6 for 1 on Cicada, so slight lead for the Timbersaw as expected. Top lane, Monet 9 for 1. Injuli's also getting a fair few CS from the lane. And Dogfights and Xiao battling out there in the river.
Yeah, actually Injuli's getting more than I expect. Part of it is Metamorphosis being down, so he's not afraid of it. And part of it is also Dogfights being there, trading a couple of hits, making sure that he could get some CS under the tower. And that's big, right? ig.V, again, they want to hit a certain timing where they could get their early BKB and go. And having an early Blink Dagger to kind of tie you over from the laning stage from in July and set up a couple ganks, that's going to be huge for the team. So every CS that he gets right now is a big win for ig.V.
Dogfights, again just tailing Xiao. Come back down towards Money. And they can try and make a bit of a go here. Just training punches.
Yeah.
That's, can't quite finish anything off, obviously, with Xiao hanging around.
I mean, the problem with the Metamorphosis is that, you know, you use it and you go for a kill, but like you want to use it with stunners, right? Like Dazzle is just not the ideal lane partner if you want to be going for kills. Oh, he's gonna pop it here, but most likely just for a couple of CS. Like he can't really do too much. And in Janai, once he sees that down, he's gonna be feeling more confident again.
I mean, is this the best play for Dogfights, really, just to keep his attention towards the top lane? Or do you think, can he get anything else done across the map?
Well, he's actually going to go for just more harass. That's a question I've been asking myself. Remember last game, Xiao was running around Bounty and getting multiple kills?
Yeah. And
doing so much. I feel like, given the draft, there's no good lane to kill, right? Like, where's he actually going to go? He could go mid and hurt the Timber, but Timber's got, you know, plus 15 armor, so that's not happening. And then bottom lane, maybe you go for the Sand King. I think that's the easiest lane, and he should try there at least once. But I don't think he could do much this game, honestly, in the lanes at least.
Paparazzi continuing to find a free lane down bottom. Not a lot's been done to slow down the Gyro's farm. So Paparazzi's going to have that good opening to the game. It's just of course a question of how well he can use it, as he is this Gyrocopter that isn't really flavor of the month. Well, pretty much flavoured this year, it feels like, either. As it very much is a pick that teams do not favour. And well, meanwhile, in fact, mid lane, Super came around with Cicada and Dogfights, the DD on the Dragon Knight, and they were able to find themselves the pick off onto the Timbersaw. So big pick. I'm going to allow Cicada to get a bit of damage done onto the mid lane tower.
Okay, so Sakata, instead of going for the easier laning with a second point Dragon Blood, went for the kill opportunity.
Yeah.
And with the Ricky on your team makes sense. Smoke Cloud plus a stun. Now it's gonna pop his Dragon Form to start hurting the tower a little bit. Actually, secondary kill. Nice.
Yeah, but burst is more than enough, and again, ig.V very quickly killing the Timber a second time.
That's a tilt move, right? You gank mid once, and then your supports disappear. But they're still there, and then you gank mid again. They're like, oh my god. If you're playing mid there, you just get tilted. The game is, I mean, the lane's already lost for you. It just doesn't feel great.
It's gonna be very frustrating.
Great move. Yeah.
Indeed for the Timber. LPC's come over to the mid lane, try and soak up a bit of the XP. Bottom lane still Yao sitting around. He's getting levels, but obviously with the fact that he's staying in lane, the farm's not going to be there. He's only got 3 CS at the moment. He has not really had a chance to get much gold at all this game.
You know, perhaps I underestimated Gyro's laning ability. Like, I said Yao's going to do fine, and right now he's going to get some CS, but at the price of a gank up top. Paparazzi level 6, porting it up with the cooldown.
I don't know, want to try and do something, get the carries head to head. Look to see if they can find Monet. And indeed, Paparazzi smoked up. So what kind of opening they can get? Xiao is in the neighborhood. He does not have a point in grave yet, though. And the cooldown's going to be pretty big. Gets the slow onto both of them. Xiao, it's going to be the first focus. There's a reaction from Super turning up in Yao as well. LFY can turn this. Looking for Paparazzi out. He's got a level 2 burrow strike. Just needs to get in range. Paparazzi actually jukes out the Shack crew.
That's no TP. He's stuck there. Like, how is he going to make it out of here?
At the same time, LPC was looking for in July. Doesn't find it. Yeah, Paparazzi, there's no way he's getting out of this one. They do chop him down. They go for an aggressive play, ig.V, but LFY very, very quick with the reactions there, sending everyone up top.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they saw the creep wave running into the tower, and that's a big red sign to not go, because it's just, you don't have the positioning. And they decided to go for a very big wraparound play. But by that time, you know, like you said, the entire LFY team has already responded, and it didn't look good.
Mid, Super. Thinking about making a gun to Cicada. In fact, with a bow strike from Miao, they can certainly have a good shot at it. Good heal bomb from Xiao. And they'll get themselves that nice pick. And indeed, a kill that they're very happy with. Super in particular, after he was taken down twice by that DK, with a bit of help from his friends. So, bringing it out to 3 for 3 on the map. And it really just, this is a game where, as we said, you know, ig.V, they can't be satisfied with taking even trades. They need to be ahead at this stage.
At least ahead until the Slaughter Blink comes in.
Yeah.
You know, once that comes in, it ties you over. That guarantees you at least a couple of kills, and you can kind of go off from there. But the last 2 minutes, it shows you the strength of a Sanking offlane. Very few offlaner. Imagine your Tide, your Timbersaw, or your Faceless Void. You know, you don't get to walk around level 5, creating counter gank opportunity and ganking mid, right? Sanking, though, however, gives you that good early stun, and he's able to win 2 team fights for the team.
And mid lane Super's got to be careful. He's got 5 heroes looking at him on the side of ig.V. I think he knows. He's back out, so they'll be able to get a tier 1 tower out of the group up. And Super managing to avoid potentially bad fate. And more space for Monet. And still the space is there for Paparazzi. And it's both carries keeping it even. Paparazzi's got a bit of a stack going on there as well. Yao TPing down to the bottom lane, but ig.V, they have 3 around. And Sakata with the Dragon Form back off cooldown in a second, so they can look to just convert this into another push.
Yeah, instead of going for these big tower dive, this is what ig.V wants to be doing. This is what they're strong at. You know, Dragon Form push, group up. It's hard for LFY to fight into it because you have cooldown. But it looks like they're going to counter push instead.
With the Metamorphosis, looking to take a trade in July. Going forward, has to be careful, taking a lot of damage, and yet, well, LPC rolls in July. He's going to go down. Now the counterplay. Paparazzi drops the cooldown. Rocket Barrage on LPC. They find one. Can they get themselves anything more out of this? Xiao on the side. He does have a grave available, but can't quite get in range. That's only level 1. So Paparazzi finds a double. And ig.V, after taking down the bottom tier 1, they've still got the rest of that Dragon Form to commit to the tier 1 top. And just a nice bit of play moving from bottom to top, getting the objectives and getting those kills as well.
Yeah, and this really helps out Slaughter, who hasn't been farming too excitingly well, you know, after the initial laning stage. Now we'll get that little bit of a nice bounty, and now we'll also get the safe lane to himself. We are about 1400 gold to Blink. But once he gets it, the game will really start moving. The tier 2 will, ideally be iG.V's goal.
Look at this as well. Super and NPC are going to try for a smoke. I'll see who they're able to find. I guess they've got their eyes for in July at the moment. They have this ward down. They've got good vision. I just need pretty much LPC to land its spells. And well, okay, there's the Burrow Strike. To set it up into the silence. They'll take it down. And a nice clean kill as LFY sweep down towards the bottom. And we'll try and turn this potentially into a tier 1 push of their own.
Yeah. Unfortunately for LFY, they don't push nearly as fast as iG.V, and it's very easy for iG.V to come down with a gyro, drop a call down, and just defend the tower. Looks like we're gonna see Super be the first one to port in. Gotta be careful though. Lots of stun here.
We've got dogfights as well wrapping around. Actually, one TP already out, so yeah, LFY just getting themselves away. And again, Super similar build to the game 1. He goes straight for the hood against iG.V's lineup.
This game, more so out of necessity than keeping his lead. Like, he's already died twice, remember, to the mid ganks repeatedly. He understands that there's a lot of burst damage, especially from the Jawa's call down. So he'll need to stay alive. Ideally, he probably needs something like a Yield Scepter as well to debuff, amplify damage, get himself momentarily away from the silences and whatnot. But we'll see what he exactly goes for.
At the moment, between the two teams, net worth leads slightly favouring iG.V. It's only 2k. Very close indeed. And July continues to get space. Elder Dragon Form back off cooldown for Sakata. He does have Armlet and also a DD rune in the bottle, so they could certainly make something happen with this Dragon Knight. Paparazzi, in terms of his build, phase, helm, what does he go for? Did he have to get the BKB next, or are we going to see the Dragon Lance or the SNY? What's the build nowadays on a jar?
I think you go Dragon Lance simply because it's so good for the stats. And then, depending on where you are in the game, you probably go BKB just to tank up. LFY in the jungle, they're going to find himself in July again. This is the one they want. They want to kill him over and over again. Yeah.
He does get the crush off, but the Magnetize, especially on the sprint, taking increased damage, he's gone. He tried for some sort of deny, but the aggro was already on LFY. And that, it's slowing down Slardar's Blink, and it's putting Yao in a very good position on the road to his. He's pretty much got the Blink Dagger Gold on the Sand King very shortly.
Yeah. Oh. Yao might die here, though.
He might have the chance to burrow. Oh! No, he doesn't. Tricks of the trades there. And LPC caught out by Sakata.
Sakata with this double damage. Every time I see him fighting, he's got one. Popped on his dragon form.
And losing kills like that, and maybe, well, if they can get Monet here, there's no tier 1. And look to chase it down. Super is there. There's the cooldown. Paparazzi with the wraparound. Xiao healing up on it. There's the Sunder. The Grave as well. They kind of miscommunicated there. They'll lose Xiao. Maybe losing Super as well. 2 go down. Sakata with a double kill. He's got to be careful as LPC maybe looks to line something up. Sakata's still hanging around. Feeling confident with the Dragon Form and the Armlet. Maybe iG.V can turn this into a push. But again, just a bit of misplaying and big kills as well for the side of iG.V to be finding. 9 for 6. And they're playing the way that's needed to keep this gyro relevant, especially with the fact that he's about to clear up a very tasty Ancient stack.
Yeah. I mean, this is how you play Gyro. This is where he's strong, right? The early game call down, he's able to backstab and fight where not many other carries could fight. So it makes sense. He's playing it as perfectly as the hero is intended to be. Looking good. I think they would have pushed that tier 2 tower like you were mentioning if DK had his ult up, but it was just ending towards the end of the fight, so they didn't have that. The other thing I want to be mentioning is, normally when you see a Terror Blade being picked, it's very customary for the towers to go down. At least the tier 1s, right? Even the tower in his lane hasn't been taken down yet. That just shows you how well iG.V has been taking control of the game in terms of the pushing as well as the team fighting. And I guess that's where DK and Gyro really excels, where others will not be.
Oh, and dogfights. Very unfortunate for him as his dead body gets kicked to the curb. He came around the same time Xiao drops the sentry. And yeah, did have the blink complete, so now the game becomes very hard for the rookie. He's got to be careful when he comes close to the team, because LFY have been pretty much on top of the game with the sentries.
Yep. And this blink dagger pickup suddenly makes defending tower much harder as well. You could easily get isolated by a blink burrow strike. You don't have the BKBs, you don't have things like Grave to back you up, and it's very easy for Timbersaw as well as the Earth Spirit to come in and just get a quick kill on you. So ig.V will probably not defend the last outer tower up top.
LFY kind of fending them off there. I mean, Roshan, I guess, both teams can do it. They've got Amplify on ig.V and good fight around it. LFY, they've got the Metamorphosis. But do you expect to see a team try for Roche anytime soon?
Not unless they like win a big team fight. I mean, you can do Roche, yes, but it will take you such a long time to do it, at least with their current items, that... I mean, both teams are very good at pushing, right? You got Terrorblade on one side, and you got the Gyro as well as Dragon Knight on the other, where if you go for a Roche, it will take you a full minute. You lose a tower and more. Just from the time you take it. Dogfights, again.
Yeah. Sentries are everywhere in this kind of region of the map. Maybe that'll be enough. Ricky's down. Monet heads in. Okay. They're going to go for the Roche attempt. And I don't think ig.V is going to be able to do anything.
Paparazzi, instead of pushing into tier 2, they're going to try to fight it. Okay. They're going to take a while doing it, so if ig.V wants to fight it, they have time to group up and smoke and do whatever.
It's going to be close. In July does have the blink. It'll be the blink reveal. And yeah, LFY realize something fishy is going on. In fact, they want to look for a wraparound. Look at this movement. They're coming around up to the high ground. See if ig.V come up here as well. Tell them about the scan's successful. They know that ig.V's there. LFY just maintaining control around the pit. Super's going to be the one to lead forward, trying to see if he can dispel some sort of a smoke. Now in July, sprinting forward, looking for the jump. There it is, he finds it, onto Super. Now see the counterplay coming in, onto in July. Silence, Smoke Streak catching out Super. He is going to be able to get himself out. In fact, the cooldown doing minimal efforts in this fight. Paparazzi a little bit off point as LFY able to get themselves out of it. And July moving into more, looking for a crush. Epicenter comes in, Super falling low. It's going to be the Earth Spirit that goes down here on the side of LFY. Super graved up just in time by Xiao. Again, Cicada's got a double damage rune. He's going to take down Super. 3 down on the side. On the back lines of it all, Yao. Can he get himself out of this one? Yeah, it's ticking him down. He's got to look for the Dukes. Hope for a blink.
Oh, TV!
Oh, it's not going to work. Cicada with the Dragon Tail. But you said it earlier, this man with the DD runes at every time that he needs it.
Yeah. By the way, the reason I called down did nothing was the Hood. I mean, they didn't win on the team fight, but definitely kept them alive long enough where they could pick up, at least 1 or 2 kills. And again, that's the danger of going for Roche at this point in the game. Neither team have that much damage where they could kill it very fast, and it just gives the other team, the ability to reinforce and take a good, well-calculated fight. Zhao in mid lane. Yeah, he's dead.
No chance for the Dazzle there. Coming out a little bit too far on his own. ig.V quick with a sweep round and the takedown. It's getting a little bit rocky for LFY, losing fights like this. Because when ig.V do group up and go, they've certainly got good potential at this stage. Paparazzi, what's he got on the courier? It looks like he's just going to go for the S and Y and Dragon Lance.
Okay. No BKB. I guess Sakata's going to be the only one getting BKB for now, and he's going to be the frontline tank.
Yeah.
The Dragon Lance helps you to stay further and more safely, so it makes sense. They'll back off. Also, right now, as the fights are happening, Xiao's level is just simply too low. It's hard for him to stay close enough to get off a good grave because he's only got level 1 grave. But if he's staying too close, that's where he gets Slaughter, Crushed, Ricky Cloud, or Call Down. So it's a hard game to play Dazzle right now.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, as you said, we've just seen him time and time again be targeted at the start of these fights. But LFY, they're actually going to move back into the pit. They're going to try again, but ig.V, they smoke up that they're ready to fight this. This could be really risky and really greedy from LFY here. If ig.V get there in time.
Sakura doesn't have double damage this time.
Nah, that could be the turn. We'll see. The jump in, looking for Yao. Sandstorm to duke it off. Elfis is actually up on the high ground. Good two-man boulder smash, and that allows LFY to finish off Roche. They'll get it. They'll get the Aegis onto Timbersaw. They're going to lose Xiao 8 in July, coming in with a crush. Looking to focus down. Super falling pretty quickly, but Monet, he's punching back, and he's punching back hard. Sakata down. In July, trying to get himself up with the Sunder. The right click. Is it going to be enough? Yes, with Yao's final tip. He gets it. Monet falling low, but he has still got the Aegis. Oh, no, he's got no, sorry, the Aegis on Timbersaw. And Timbersaw's back for round 2. Paparazzi false promised up, but ig.V, they're only down to 2 left in this fight. Super trying to get out, but the Chakram's there for Super. The Timber Chain to finish it off, and also to fall will be Paparazzi. LFY take Roshan, take the Aegis, and they take the team wipe.
It was a super close decision to give the Aegis to Timber, because, I mean, if the Demon respawns back, he doesn't have Metamorphosis anymore, so it's not going to be that effective. You know, whereas Timber, we saw exactly what he did at the second half of the team fight, just output so much damage. And also, really great positioning by LPC. He was at this cliff at the beginning of the fight, was able to disable the whole team.
Good stun, yeah.
And then allow the Terrorblade to finish the Roche like he said, and that really made all the difference in the fight. Xiao again died at the beginning of the fight, so he remains level 9. He's very low level. He needs to pick up more Grave, and he is doing so, but painful game for him. But his team is winning fights, so it's good.
Well, it was a very nice bit of play there for LFY. And the lead that ig.V had, 5k, it's pretty much all but gone with that fight.
Yep.
Back down to neck and neck between the two sides. And as we said, this is something that ig.V got to be careful about happening. Yeah, Paparazzi on that gyrocopter. He has the SMY done. They need to make sure that he can keep himself relevant in these fights. As we saw it, Monet's already starting to do a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, and this is the danger of going SMY instead of BKB against the Timber, where if there's a runaway team fight for LFY, there's no way you make it out because you don't have that magic immunity against Timber, against Earthsphere, against Sand King. And also, within the next 10 minutes, this is where we see ig.V break it or make it, because this is the time where they need to start knocking down tier 2, start knocking out on high ground, and get things done. Because their team, the lineup doesn't really extend that well into the late game. That's where, you know, Terrorblade and Timbersaw would take over.
On top, ig.V going for the tier 2. Super trying to slow down the push, but they'll almost certainly have to let this one go. It's very, very low. LFY not feeling the necessity to fight out by that tier 2 at this time being. So ig.V get the tower. Dogfights. Halfway towards the diffusal blade. And
maybe ig.V should take a fight.
Yeah,
he's got a double damage.
Oh, has he again? Oh my goodness.
It is his motto.
Yeah, it's certainly time to fight. And he's going to have BKB for the next fight as well with this creep wave. So BKB, double damage, pretty much ready to go on Sakata. And there we have it.
Have they been giving the stack to the DK or the Gyro? Gyro, right?
Oh, the Ancients.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been the Gyro, I think, yeah. We saw him take it early, at least, yeah. Yeah, he is... Actually, yeah, he's pretty close to his BKB as well, actually. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry.
Both of them.
Over club.
Both of them are like fairly farmed. Oh, mid lane.
Paparazzi getting initiated on. Look at the damage coming out from this Terrorblade. Paparazzi just melting. He will just survive. But he has to just bail immediately.
Yep.
Monet.
If Dogfight wasn't there with the smoke cloud, he dies for sure. So good job on the support player, but they're gonna lose this tier 2.
Fortification is going to be expended for it as well. Town to fall in July, comes in with a crush. Eyes to Monet, but there's the Epi coming in, Yao. In the midst of it all, bringing in July low, bursting down the Slardar. Super gets himself away. LPC running across. Trying to target Monet, but he gets the thunder onto Sakata. Sakata false promise, just keeping himself alive. Monet trying to turn and fight, and with a grave from Xiao, he's going to be able to do it. Paparazzi has to get himself out. Super he's going to look for the chase down. It'll be a big kill if he can finish it off. The Timber Chain misses, though. He won't be able to chase it. Back towards the mid, though. Super and Sakata feeling the pain. They managed to take down Monet. They'll take Xiao 8 as well. In fact, oh, they did it. LFY comes back in with Super to clean up. It's a messy fight. They do lose Monet. As we can see, it's a favourable trade for LFY. It's a 3 for 4. Gyro survives, but we're just starting to see at this point there's not a lot that Paparazzi can do in these fights.
Well, Gyro was never really in that fight, right? Remember,
Yeah.
he got chased all the way back. He couldn't really come in as the team fight was happening. Super being the huge winner in that team fight, picked up a bunch of Bloodstone charge, now a Blink Dagger to boot. And also, very, I guess, fortunate timing for LFY. Dragon Knight at the beginning of the team fight didn't have Dragon form. Like, he went in there as the human BKB Knight and honestly was not hitting that many people. If he had Dragon form, I think that would have been a total team fight, a different team fight where ig.V might have actually won it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with the way that it was close as it is, anything like that just to tip the scales would have helped out. As it stands, the game's still very close. Still a few minutes, of course, before Roshan can be looked upon again. And he did have the overflip up yet. So just 1k gold, and Paparazzi will have the BKB ready for the next fight. So he's certainly kitted up to do his best to survive in the team fights, but it kind of feels like until he has that damage item as well, it's still going to be very limited how effective this Gyro can be. Especially in fights up against Monet. You know, he's walking around with insane amounts of armor and also pretty much has the BKB done himself as well.
And also that puts Injuly in a very difficult role where he has to be the initiator, but he also has to survive long enough where he gets amplified damage on the critical targets. Because both Gyrocopter and Dragon Knight is really counting on that amplified damage to go through the armor of Terrorblade, like you said, and as well as Weave. Let's not forget about that. As the team fight moves on, Xiao A is going to be pumping out more and more armor for the team. And to put more problem on top of that, Monet's got things like BKB as well as Manta Style to get rid of amplified damage. So Slaughter, I don't know how he's going to get amplified on everything, but he needs to. It's a tough game for ig.V right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen in July, he does kick off the fights with the crushes, but it's pretty much
He
in
dies.
and out. Yeah, because Monet just focuses him, and a few punches and he's dead. I'm going to try and fight again though, ig.V, coming out towards the top. Smoking up. Dogfight's looking for the opening. In July jumps, he gets a two-man crush. Dogfight and the follow-up from Cicada. BKB comes out, they'll take down Yao. No second they have to worry about this fight. Monet trying to man fight up against Paparazzi, forcing them back, but the amplify onto Monet, bringing them down fairly low. That's actually back away here. On the side, Super still trying to play around with him, but in July, it's the crush. Monet held in place. LPC drops the magnetized. Good Sunder. Putting Monet back in a good position. They'll take the Dragon Knight down. Forced out as well. Monet keeping himself alive here, but he still goes down. There's not enough self-sustain. Xiao A was unable to get the grave off by the looks of it. Now Xiao A himself, he'll grave himself. He's almost certainly going to go down. He has a TP, but they have cancelled, so there's no way that he can try for it. And LFY.
Yeah. Look at the world difference it makes when your Slaughter is alive to continue to output crushes as well as amplify damage. Even the Terrorblade with his godly armor was able to be pushed back when he's amplified. And Paparazzi, because he got false promise and earned, he just kept running forward, keep hitting people. And Slaughter, you know, putting the finishing touches in that teamfight, chasing down one after another. So that's the reason they won the fight. They killed the enemy offlaner, the Sand King, before he dropped a single spell. And then your offlaner is able to keep on stunning, keep on chasing. And now all of a sudden, Paparazzi not only has the BKB, but he also has 2.6k, 2.8k now. I wonder what he's gonna get. I honestly don't know. I think MKB is the standard item of choice for Gyrocopter, but this to me is somewhat of a different game, so I wonder if he's gonna go for something else instead.
Yeah, I guess it's, as you said, do you get the butterfly because of the fact that TB might eventually build evasion, or as the Gyro yourself, do you get a butterfly to try and force LFY to build an MKB on the Terrorblade?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, even something like Diffusal Blade, which seems a little bit odd, isn't too terribly bad. It gives you quite a bit of damage, and it allows you to chase much better. So, Illusion gonna eat all of the stuns. So we'll see. I think he's gonna default for MKB, like you mentioned. You know, in preparation of the butterfly, it's great damage. But if he wants a little bit more utility, Scotty, Diffusal Blade.
He's gonna go butterfly. He's going butterfly himself. I mean, it's gonna be hard to take down in the fights with the butterfly.
There's a funny build. Loda used to go for Ethereal Blade on the Gyrocopter. This is like a couple years back where he actually max homing missile and used Ethereal Blade and call down as a big magical burst. But I don't think we've seen any other player gone for that build.
I mean, do you like the whole skipping homing missile. The Paparazzi's gone for here.
It tilts me a little bit because I think you could just put 1 point, you know? Because it gives you so much utility, just have the 1 point. You put on Xiao A and he has to just run, right? He's not going to just stand there and take the stun. But he's a man of the stats, I guess.
And he's got a hell of a lot of them. For the BKB, Dragonlance, SMY, putting the levels in them. Bottom lane, LFY. Groups up again. Roshan is back up. There's the DD. I mean, the question is, does the Dragon Knight get it again?
He's walking towards it. Oh, maybe not. His teammate might get it. Paparazzi? Yeah, he'll take it.
LFY have got to be careful about taking this fight. They want to be very wary about fighting into a DD gyrocopter.
Yep. And both teams are putting so much attention in this spot because Roshan has spawned, and at this point in the game, either team could take it very quickly, especially with Radiant and its amplified damage.
Nice just smoke from LFY here. They see that the iG.V's coming in hard on the mid lane. They could pinch them. They could get a good wraparound from behind. LFY. Yao has the epi. iG.V have got to be very careful here. There's the jump in immediately onto Injuly, but the false promise comes out. There's cooldown looking for Monet, but he pops the BKB. Man fighting up against Cicada, forcing the DK to back up. Yao still has the epi yet to use it. Super being focused. Xiao gets the grave off, keeping Super alive. But LFY actually just trying to get themselves out of this one, backing up, retreating, holding themselves back for the time being. They have managed to get the BKBs out, and Yao still holding onto that epicenter. So iG.V may be careful about fighting again into this. Oh, Yao jumps in, immediately getting punished though. Getting out of this, and now Super being diffusal bladed, chased down by dogfights, but there we go again. Xiao A with the Graves, keeping Super alive. Paparazzi, can they get this kill? Chasing down the Gyra in July. Comes back in with the crush onto Monet. The Timber Sword dies, the Bloodstone charges, healing the Terrorblade back up. Now Monet and Xiao A. Fincher like can get this crush. Gonna go for it, but again, the grave from Xiao is there. Cicada toggles the armlet. There's the Sunder onto Injuly, putting Monet back in a healthy position. TP coming in from Super. Now iG.V backing off. Super. Oh, again, he's not Pudge. A hook off the mark. And he won't be able to chase because of that. So iG.V are able to escape.
So 1 for 3, Teamfight Recap shows that it's about a 2k net worth win here for iG.V. But they didn't get the objective that they want, which is the Roche. It's not a great fight for LFY, but at least Terrorblade didn't die. They buy more time on their back, and Terrorblade is now building towards Eye of Scotty. I think if he had Eye of Scotty, the fight would have been much different, because he's hitting all these kind of low range / melee heroes, and they're just kind of walking away. Having the Frost attack slow would be huge. Now LFY going into the Roshan pit, no Dragon Form to work against, so
this could be good.
I think they might.
Yeah, look at the TPs though, they're coming over for it. Can they fight it, as you said, without Dragon Form? Can they still do this?
Now they have it. Now they have it. Quicker cooling than I thought it was.
Dogfight's watching them from the outskirts. He's popped the Dragon Form now though. So, let's see what they can do with this timing. Oh, Dogfight's caught out. Again, the false promises. Coming in just in time. We'll keep Dogfights alive. Now LFY just playing with iG.V outside of the pit at the moment. Super.
I think if you're LFY, you just wait out the Dragon Form. You know he popped it already, so... Okay, no, they want to fight.
Oh, Super coming in. He's got to be careful of these smoke clouds. Xiao onto Paparazzi, stun as well. Paparazzi falling low. Monet popping the BKB, trying to go in onto the gyro. They'll lose Xiao though on the dazzle. He falls. Dogfights. Oh, gets the tricks of the trade out. He's going to survive for the time being. Cicada hits Monet with the Dragon Tail. He's got a Sunder. Can he get it off? No, he can't. He's down. They've lost 3. But at the same time, LFY are finding the kills in return. It's a 3 for 3 at the moment. Super chases down Paparazzi, makes it a 4 for 3. The last man standing. Super on the Oracle. Super coming to be the superior as he'll take down his evil counterpart. There we go, and indeed, Gem on the decks. Ultra kill for Super. He had a great game 1 on the Timbersaw. Game 2, he's looking to continue that.
You know, I said that he's going to have a much tougher game, but apparently not. His itemization has been great. The Hood keeping him alive, the Lotus Orb to get rid of further amplified damage, and the Blink Dagger letting him output damage. So he's really being a force to reckon with, and I think iG.V's momentum is really slipping now. 2 teamfight losses in a row. Granted, LFY hasn't got that Aegis, and granted they have killed terribly in these fights, but I'm not sure whether that's enough to stop the momentum. It's just not. It's not just about Terrorblade. Sand King is an issue now. Like we said, Super is an issue now. And again, Dragon Knight as well as Gyro, these heroes just don't carry that well into the late game unless you're super stacked with items, and they're not really that stacked.
That really seems to be the problem. And net worth, it's been up and down, up and down. And every time ig.V starts to get a little bit ahead, as you said, you know, they lose the team fight to LFY, they get themselves back in a good position. And yeah, Gyro, you know, Paparazzi may be at the top, but Timbersaw very much hot on his heels. And the next down, Mone's still got a bit of catching up to do on the Terrorblade before he becomes the real beast. As we're seeing in the fights, he can do a fair bit of damage, but he keeps coming very close to falling, and obviously most of the time does end up dying.
Yep. Mostly credit to Sakata though. In these fights, he's singling out Xiao. He knows, you know, they could deal with Sunder, but they can't deal with Sunder and Grave. So every fight, he's looking for Xiao. That's what the Slaughter's also doing. He's also looking for Xiao. So again, I don't know how Xiao is gonna keep himself alive and put out Graves at the right time. It's just a really tough game for Dazzle to play well. But yeah, he's holding on. He's got the gem now. There's a huge stack here, and LFY knows. So let's see what happens.
They should be able to take the stack, but Roshan is going to go down. ig.V are the ones to find that across the map. Paparazzi takes the Aegis. They're going to come over. They are scanning this.
Ooh.
Can Monet actually finish this one off?
Probably not.
I don't think he can, no. They don't really have the best spread damage.
He's committed meta for this.
They're going to have to fight this. Paparazzi comes in. Monet pops the BKB. There's your false promise. Though Paparazzi, he's attacking Monet and farming the stack at the same time with the flat cannon. Gets caught out by the burst strike putting up, but they've already lost Super. Take the Aegis down once. July looking for more. He's trying to look for Yao. So LFY will get themselves out. So they pop the Aegis, but they do lose their Timbersaw for it. They took a bit of the stack away, but the most of it remains, and Paparazzi will be able to back up and clean that out. So Gyro will still maintain his position at the top of the net worth board.
Really a questionable decision by LFY. They gave away Aegis to farm a stack, which they don't... Like, they're not really good at farming that stack. And, I mean, it's a good position for them to fight in because they had vision advantage and they had hill advantage. But, I don't know. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, I guess, but LFY losing a bit of momentum. Bearblade, nowhere near his Eye of Scotty. He's been holding that ultimate orb, I want to say, like, since 10 minutes ago.
And as I said, he needs to have that complete. Looking at Yao. 1100 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. Be very nice, of course, these team fights once he does have it. Wow, look at this ig.V coming across just for the D ward. LFY keeping themselves together. I've got to be careful as ig.V really are becoming very scary, and this Gyro has perfectly kept himself ahead of the game. And let's see if we get up next. Yeah, they're just finishing off the Satanic. It's going to be the next order of call. So I mean, this Gyro is incredibly stacked. And the pick seems to be working out for the time being. He's 9-3-13 and is having a lot better of a game than Monet on his Terrorblade.
That's definitely for sure. And Satanic in combination with False Promise is just sickening. Like, you get him low, False Promise comes through, he pops the Satanic, and he's going to pop out with full HP every single time. ig.V with the new item will smoke out.
LFY, a little bit split apart at the moment. Yao's down on the bottom. ig.V, they've got their eyes on the mid lane. 1-8. Sending the illusions out. Looks like they're aware that something's going on as LFY just keeping themselves on the high ground.
Yeah, the creeps are too pushed in on all lanes and nobody's defending it, so it is somewhat obvious. He will back away. Also in that last team fight, I'm not sure whether your camera caught it, but Super blinked in and he just died like instantly.
No, I didn't quite catch the super death. Yeah, that was on the side.
Yeah, he has to be aware of that. Without his reactive armor, he like at least 15 to 20 stacks of reactive armor. He's not that tanky, especially with amplified damage on him. He basically blinked in, got stunned by Crush, got amplified, and just died during the Slaughter Crush. So he needs to allow Yao to go in first, allow Xiaowei to grab, throw out his ult before he really commits. He can't really be the Superman that he's been in these games so far.
Skadi now complete from Monet. And LFY looking to try and do something with this, but at the same time the fights are going to get harder and harder. Cicada has got the Sock Caress on his way out.
Okay.
So, I mean,
No.
ig.V is a 5-man. Just the armor reduction and the amount of tankiness that they have. It's going to be very hard for LFY to bite through.
Yeah. You know, during the draft, I kept saying, look, I'm worried about DK's item progression. I'm worried about Gyro's item progression. They both got a ton of items, so it comes down to execution now. Like, you know, they got through the very tough stage of the game. They haven't got the Raxus at 30, or like the lineup's designed to do, but they can go late because they got the items.
And LFY simply backing off. Not wanting to hang around too far on enemy territory. There's an invis room. We'll see if anyone's able to get anything done with this. Maybe set something up. LPC grabs it. And as he heads straight back over to their side of the jungle. Smoke picked up. Gem will be out on the map for Super on the side of ig.V. Both teams.
And I don't know how you're holding up on your energy level because you cast a long best of 3, but I think we're moving into that territory where we're going to see buybacks coming up from, you know, most of the core players. They're going to be super safe. One of those good old Chinese games.
Absolutely, yeah. This is one of those games that certainly can continue to go back and forth, it feels. I mean, as we're seeing in the fights really now, neither team really has had a clear lead constantly. It's just been back and forth, back and forth. It's always been kind of in the ballpark of ig.V, but only slightly.
Yep. And sometimes they lose that team fight. Remember, you know, the fight where Super was sole survivor, he drops a gem and he dies as well, so it's really back and forth. So I think at this point in the game, that's where you start to look at the supports to see which team has the better backline. You can make the argument that ig.V has really the superior supports. The false promise allowing the core to keep on fighting. Ricky Smoke is constantly super annoying to deal with, and he's hard to kill. You know, multiple team fights he survives with tricks of the trade. So I feel like ig.V's got that beat in that department. Technically, the Grave is a very powerful spell in this stage of the game, but as we pointed out multiple times, Xiaowei just can't stay alive. There's too many blinks, too much burst damage, and perhaps this positioning hasn't been the best.
And it really feels like he wants to, I guess, kind of Grave Monet, but a lot of the times he's having to look towards Super or even Yara and LPC that are going in first and getting immediately focused. So it's very hard for Xiao to kind of control who he saves it for. Up towards the mid, and a fight with the smoke. Who's going to get the jump boat? They head up to the high ground. They want to go for this wraparound. The movement is there. There's the Brave preparing them for the wall. We have the lead in. That's a good opening. They found Paparazzi. Can they move him down? Monet tries to punch into him, but they hasn't got quite enough damage. In July will be kept alive by the false promise. LPC by Xiaowei, Shallow Grave. They'll manage to take down the Oracle. Monet turns towards Paparazzi, forcing him back now towards Cicada, but he just doesn't seem to do enough damage at this point. Now looks towards Dogfights, but the tricks of the trade's there. Ricky keeps himself alive. Cicada comes in, takes down Monet. Xiaowei has to get himself out of there. Paparazzi chasing down Super as well. It'll be a fourth. How? Yao coming in with the epicenter. Does find 2 off the back of it, but it looks like it may not be good enough. Yules on Yules action here. And in July will continue to chase. Yao actually able to get out. So a 4 for 2 trade. Yao able to make something good happen for LFY at the end of that one, but still a very painful fight for the side of LFY to lose.
Yeah, unfortunately all they got was the 2 supports, and the 2 support won't be the one that's pushing. It's Paparazzi as well as the Dragon Knight, but buyback from Timber, they're going to try their best to hold. Okay, that's quite a bit of damage coming out here.
Coming in with a good amount of burst. Oh, look at the damage coming down onto Timbersaw, falling low and falling down. The Maelstrom proc will do it. They'll take it. How? With a 2-man Burrow Strike. Magnetized, being reset on them as well by LPC. Again, able to force them back, but they lose the Timbersaw for that defense. Going in again, going out. LPC hitting the smash. They just need more. They need Monet back up. They'll hold the racks. The 35 to 28, ig.V now. Expect to see them break away with a lead that's pretty much the biggest they've had all game. They'll look towards Roshan. Roshan not quite up for another minute.
So how many deaths was that for LFY? They lost 4 in the actual team fight. Timber had to buy back, and he died again. And then I believe the Earth Spirit also bought back.
Oh, something with the buybacks. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
So essentially 6 deaths. So
Yeah, 6 deaths, and they lose tier 3, and they might still lose base. Here comes IG.
And Paparazzi comes in. 20 seconds and they'll have the timber back up. I need Monet to do something big. He's got Metamorphosis up shortly. Already the racks are down in the mid lane. ig.V breaking into the base hard. I hit the stun onto Paparazzi. One set of racks down. LFY in a bit of an awkward position. And the gyro pick, the gyro and the DK, it's working out. ig.V, I mean,
Yeah.
Paparazzi's got 6.5k gold in the bank. I mean,
I don't want to
take
take
textbook gyro again.
I don't want to take anything away from the gyro or the DK, but I feel like Oracle had a huge part in their success. The false promise has been on point, especially during the earlier pushes where sometimes LFY get the jump on the Slaughter or on on the Dragon Knight, but the false promise has been on point every single time. And sometimes people say Oracle might be the better hero compared to Dazzle. At least in this game, in this scenario, it seems like Super has been putting in more work than Xiaowei has.
Yeah, it really does. Xiaowei's just been a little off the mark with the Graves, and obviously a lot of it down to the fact that it's just a hard game for the Dazzle.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuns flying about and the smoke screens and such.
Yeah, the problem is as it goes to later and later game, your timing window gets smaller and smaller because the burst damage gets greater and greater, right? Early game, your guy gets stunned, you have a lot of time to kind of react, you can heal them a little bit. Now if you get stunned, you could just die. Last team fight, he couldn't get off Sunder because he got Slaughter crushed towards the end of it, and Grave was on cooldown because he had to use it on LPC. And speaking of LPC, Earth Spirit is just not a hero at this point. He doesn't have any good items to kind of carry him into the mid-late game. He doesn't have that Aghanim Scepter. So Earth Spirit is kind of a one-stun wonder at this point.
Yeah, he's very poor indeed. LPC at the bottom of the net worth. Behind Xiaowei's Dazzle.
One racks down. The Chinese, one racks down is what they call a wake-up call, Like, okay, one racks down, time to start playing Dota for real. And that's generally how Xiaowei's old LG team used to play. They're down 1 racks and they start winning team fights. So I would not put it I would not give up on LFY yet, even though the odds are definitely stacked against them.
Bottom lane, ig.V may be ready to try and go for more tier 2 in their sights, and may even just push on. There's no reason really for them to hold back. They've got Cheese on in July, Paparazzi with Aegis. LFY are going to have a very hard defense in their hands. Also with the fact that Cicada has picked up the Daedalus, they've got so much damage. MKB is now out for Monet.
He gave up his buyback for this. This is their last hold.
Bit of an all-in play here. See how it pans out. Burrow strike in, movement out. PC jumps in, gets the bottom smash onto Paparazzi. Spamming out the illusions. Paparazzi pops the Satanic. Gets himself back up to hell.
That's a 35-second cooldown, so I mean he's good. He could wait 20 more seconds, it'll be good. The problem with that item is that actually there is no problem. Wait 20 seconds, you're good.
Oh, there's your Burrow strike. Epi coming in the midst of it all. Injulag falling down low. They've lost the DK. They found Cicada. They'll turn towards Paparazzi. Monet forcing Paparazzi out of the base. They'll head in. Super has to false promise himself. They'll get the Burrow strike onto Injulag. Injulag, he uses himself, but he's going to go down. Super will fall after the duration of the false promise. And I think Monet going all in on that MKB and just screwing the buyback gold pretty much was absolutely key to allowing LFY to hold that base.
Dude, Dragon Knight just died. Like, you could make the argument that Super misplayed that, because if a false promise came out there, the team fight would not have been won by LFY. But it didn't. I didn't see whether it's Yao stunning him in the back or Super distracting him. Whatever the case might be, Monet, like you said, went all in, believe in his team to output the stuns, and they did. And, well, that's a one team fight. Suddenly the game gets a little bit more complicated. Uh-oh, Super?
Oh, he's got to be careful. There's a Ricky coming through. Oh, the homing missile loads the sword back, but Paparazzi pops the BKB Super. Oh, Monet with the save! It's going to be fine. Monet doing it for the boys there. Saving Super. Getting him out. That's nice. It's very, very nice indeed for the side of LFY. I can't afford to be losing Super now at this stage of the game. Especially with only 8 Bloodstone charges. He's level 25. He didn't have the money for buyback, so he would have been gone for a good 70 seconds.
Yeah. And he's going to go for the Octarine, I guess? Yep. To increase his damage output, making him a little bit tankier. I wonder why he's going for Octarine instead of Aghanims, let's say. I feel like the Aghanims would give you much more damage output, but I'm not a Timbersaw player myself, so fortunately I...
Look at that, Lumi. The Bloodthorn on Paparazzi. What do you think about that?
What did he drop for it? He dropped Dragonlance for it, right?
Oh, no, he still needs a slot.
Yeah, well, he's gonna use it as an agent slot. And he's so rich that he's buying gems for this.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
I mean, this is arguably better than Daedalus, right? Like, if you're looking for a crit item, because your whole team crits.
Yeah.
And you're hitting hard. But there are things like Lotus Orbs that will, get rid of it. And BKBs and Manta, I guess. No. Looking at it, there's not many ways to debuff that spell. Oh, mid lane, Dogfight jumps in, going for the solo kill.
DC is gone.
Alright.
He does have buyback. Yeah, dogfights. He can very easily do that. I mean, we talked already about how poor LPC was. It's just
Dogfight's got a Deso. This man hits hard as a support.
Yeah, Dogfights, he's had a great game. He's only got the same amount of farm as in July.
I mean, there was that stage of the game where they kept ganking him and he kept dying, right? Like walking into sentries, but...
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Let's not talk
he's
about that.
recovered perfectly from that.
It's good. Well, the big guns are coming out. I'm excited for this Bloodthorn. Let's see how big damage.
I mean, who are you looking to Bloodthorn? You just shut Xiao out, make sure he can't get any saves through? Or do you just go for one of the big cores?
I think anybody that you're actually actively focusing as a team, you Bloodthorn him and kill.
Cicada starting to bang into... Look at that damage! Oh my goodness! Monet forcing back the DK. Super being chased down as well. The bottom smash isn't going to catch anyone. Injury comes in with the crush, trying to slow them down. There's the call now. Paparazzi moving in. Super being focused. Super fully low and he's down. They've lost Super. Monet though continues to force back ig.V.
Oh, they Sanking got caught out too. Sanking on the left side, he's going to die here. And without Sanking, that's all of their stun. Super's dead, like you said, for a long time. He's not going to be able to buy back.
They've got buyback. They've got buyback. Yeah, they need to buy back.
And Meta's running out too. That's the other issue.
Yeah. Super buys back. Or Paparazzi being focused by Monet. Falling incredibly low. He's down. Big kill for LFY. Cicada as well. He's going to fall. Injala hits the crush, but Monet just pummeling into him. And now they're not done. Super's going to fall as well. It's a 4th death on this bottom lane. And what the hell is Ricky doing?
you need to buy TP or something. For a second, I thought he was going to steal that gem on top of the cliff.
I was wondering if he's going to sneak into the base. He's not.
Yeah. He can't see the gem. My god, maybe ig.V did not expect LFY to have buyback and just went up the hill in confidence.
They just got ripped to shreds.
Again, going back to the decision for Monet to just go all into the MKB instead of saving for buyback, that has paid off doubly, right? Because 2 team fights in a row, it's his damage output alone.
And now they are at a point where they have 3 heroes with buyback or cooldown. They need to either force something big out or get something big done with this. They can't lose heroes here. They don't have Metamorphosis. Monet's got to be careful. They'll force out 1 buyback from the DK. LFY look to finish it off. There's a 2nd buyback. They're still sticking around. They want to force more. Monet finds it on the side. The jump in. Tricks of the trade. In July, caught in the midst though. Chakram down, but he uses himself up. In July, trying to escape, and he will be able to force up to the high ground. So he'll live. Now LFY will roll out, but Cicada trying to chase. Dragon Tails himself for the cause, allowing Paparazzi to come in and close the gap, but Super's forced out. Monet, he's been bloodborne. They need to keep it like there's the Sunder. Turns around onto Paparazzi, forcing the giant back. LPC comes in. The Paparazzi false promise. He's going to live. They're going to lose the R Spirit. The Yules up onto the gyro. Comes in Monet. He's going to kill Cicada. He's going to turn towards Paparazzi. Can he finish it? No, he's been disarmed by the Oracle. The Shallow Grave from Xiao. Monet fighting through it all, but the smoke screen stopping him from getting the punch through. Oh, he's down. They've lost lost him. The buyback immediately there. Dogfights. He's being focused by Super and Xiao. They'll take the Ricky kill. 4 dead on ig.V. Only the Ricky with buyback. Terrorblade straight back into this. How much can LFY get done now?
Oh, they go for the throw. I don't think even they take the 2 Raxes. They're gonna go straight down the middle. Oh, he doesn't have gold. What happened to his BOT? Did he not BOT to a creep? Oh my god, that's like 30 seconds down the drain. Super's gonna try to press as much wave as possible. They're skipping the Raxes.
Straight for the tier 4s. They're going for the game. ig.V with 3 of their cores on the sideline for at least 40 seconds. In waltzes the Terrorblade. Monet doesn't have Metamorphosis, or in fact, Tricks of the Trade comes out. They're trying to do their best to defend. Dogfights jumps on Xiao 8, but he graves himself. Dogfights, he's trying to get at the false promises there just in time from Super, but LFY turn towards the tier 4s. Super disarming Monet, trying to hold them back 20 seconds, and they will have in July back on the slaughter, but they lose 1 tier 4. LFY move on to the second. ig.V, are they going to have the chance to stop this and fight back? It's going to be so close. 5 seconds they're going to have in July. Slaughter, how much can he do? The tier 4s are down. The base is exposed. There we go. In July jumps in. Dogfights as well. They'll get Xiao 8. That's 1 down. Can they get anything more? They're backing off. There's a buyback from Xiao 8. Monet and Super hitting the base. And July again with a crush. Dogfights trying to fight for the illusions, but LFC, he hits it. The silence. Dogfights in the midst of it all is falling low. They're so close to having their cores back, but GG is caught. It's not long enough, and LFY have done it. They win the series 2-0, and they knock out IG from the competition.
Oh, this game was super close. Super close. I mean, for example, if Monet didn't mess up his booty travel, they wouldn't that game flat. It wouldn't have not been close. But you know, Ricky was making all the plays he did. Remember, he ran up the base hoping the enemies would chase him. The multiple disarms like you're chasing. Once the slaughter was back, I thought they had a chance. You know, that would have bought a little bit of extra time, but great save of Monet. He saved the BKB till the very end. He could have BKB off the disarm to hit the tier 4. He didn't do it. He could have BKB off the cloud. He didn't do it. He saved the BKB for the very last moment. Superb decision for LFY late game. Buying the MKB, saving the BKB. Great play, and well, they deserve the win.
I mean, yeah, it was just a great get. And ig.V as well, they really showed us that, I mean, Gyro's still got a place. You know, Paparazzi, he did a lot on that hero. I guess just to the end, it was the fact that Monet on that Terrorblade could just do so much. And Yao, he really stepped it up with the Sand King play, you know, initiating on the fights and hitting those burrow strikes, allowing them to take one hero out of the fight straight away.
Yeah, he was taking out Super. That's why we haven't seen those great false promises that we saw earlier in the game. So, like you said, well played by Yao as well.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the MDL LAN today. Lumi, thank you very much for joining me. Any last words?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'll be casting again tomorrow with LD. So be sure to
which
look
game
out
are you
for
doing?
that one.
The first one.
The second one, I believe.
Which is that's either Secret or OG's game, right? Isn't it? I believe it's lower bracket. It's Secret or OG against LGD Forever Young or MVP. It'll be one of those.
Yeah, I need to check the schedule to make sure and do some notes on it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to cast tomorrow. Appreciate you having me here, Owen. I had fun casting with you. Yeah.
Yes, you saved the cast, as I said, but Andy had to bail, so we needed someone, and he stepped up. So thank you very much, Lumi, for joining us. And yeah, well, we'll hear from you tomorrow, Lumi. I'll see you about.
Cool. Yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the stream. I'll put it back on the Chinese stream if you want. I guess I'll just leave it up. We can see what they do, unless someone from BTS tells me to turn the stream off. But for the time being, I'll leave up some of the love from our Chinese Poison Girls over there. What do we got here? Oh, look, the brackets. Oh, that's perfect. So tomorrow.